Hey, you guys, you got the old Mongo Man out here in Mongo's garage on a Sunday afternoon. Beautiful day out here. It's a little warm, but here in the garage, it's cool. I got a couple little projects going on. I want you guys to come along and see what we're doing. We just got out of camp, football camp this week. Kenny, senior in high school, got his last hurrah here for football, and did our scrimmage yesterday, church this morning, and now we're working on a project for the football team. So come along, treat you guys into some real down-home redneck engineering. So for those of you just joining the channel, I'm Mongo. This is Mongo's Garage, and here we do just about a little bit of everything. Today what we're going to get into is a special little redneck project that I've got going on. We're doing football. It is the end of August 2021, and football, varsity football season is just getting underway. We just had essentially week 0 is coming up here, so we just got through with the scrimmage, like we said, and I do a lot for the football team, always have, probably will for a long time here in Avella. So my son, Kenny, you all know him from the channel here. He is on the team. It's his senior year, and I've coached him ever since he was wee-high to a grasshopper. So I am a coach on the team, an assistant line coach. I do all the odd jobs. So essentially anything that they need, adjusted, fixed, modified, fabricated, I'm the guy that gets it done. So today what we're talking about is something that I'm doing. We use Hudl, which is a video sharing and video hosting platform on the internet for all of our video, and on that platform you have several different options of how you can take the video. And up to this point we've always been a sideline team, so we've done nothing but video from the sideline. Well, now we're going to do video from the end zone and the sideline. So the end zone camera is what we call the tight copy. Essentially that view gives us a real good idea of what the linemen are doing, so that we can diagnose what's going on there and be able to correct their technique so that we can get them to do what they have to do so that we can be successful on the football field. And that tight copy has to be taken from about 20 foot in the air, and that's what I've done. Is I've kind of created a system to do that. But yesterday was the first dry run, and we ran into a couple hiccups. First of all, my camcorder that was at the top of the tower, it died when we were just about through. So I've got to figure out a way to get it power to it so we can charge it. The iPad that we tape with on the sideline view actually died, and I got to figure that out. Or it didn't die, it actually overheated because it was so stinking hot yesterday. Now I don't foresee that being much of a problem, upcoming with the football season, but it definitely could be an issue. And then the other thing is I have to be able to adjust the tight copy camera. So right now it's at the top of about a 16, maybe 20 foot pole, like I said. And the only thing I can do is essentially turn the pole in order to pan left to right. Well, panning left to right is good, and turning the pole is awesome, but what I also need to do is I need to do the vertical, so that when the team is all the way at the opposite end of the field, I can adjust vertical and bring that line right into the shot, rather than just getting them clear at the top or them clear at the bottom. We want that center line in the screen. And I'll put a couple pictures in here so you can see what I'm talking about. So today what we're going to do is we're going to fabricate a low, what do I want to call it? A low tech way to be able to adjust the vertical on the tight cam. So got to get some stuff out of the truck here, and then we'll get right along the way here. I did go ahead and really upgraded the pack out. I did something that I said I was never going to do, and that's buy the pack out dolly. And the reason I guess I didn't want to do it is because everybody said that it was junk. And yeah, I agree, it's not the greatest quality. It seems to be kind of flimsy, but for what we're doing with it so far, Now, and I say so far has been one game. We've had pretty good luck with it. I also got another 3-drawer, and we're going to go over this stuff. Maybe if it isn't this video, we'll talk about it soon. But I got the 3-drawer pack out, and I'm telling you, these drawers are a life changer. If you haven't got the drawers yet, you definitely need to. They're well constructed. They don't keep out the water, the moisture. They don't keep out the moisture, but they're doing a pretty good job in keeping water out. I bought one for myself first, and I've been using it for, I've been riding around in the back of the truck now for about 2 months, and it's holding up pretty well. So this is the main part of the setup, and of course, like I said, it is a pack-out dolly. On the side, this is my main boom jib or tripod, and what this is actually it's a speaker tripod that they were throwing away at the school that I picked up. This is my camera tripod that I usually use here in the garage, and this is the boom tripod for the LAN, local area network antennas that come with the Hudl kit. So all of that stuff is bungeed onto this. Bungeed onto the crate for now. But what I have to fix first is this old school tripod, because a foot came out of it, as you guys could tell there when I was playing with it. Okay, that's fixed. Alright, so what is next is this is the essentially what I'm using at the end of a pole to hold my camera in place. And what I want to do is I want to be able to adjust this way, like this. Boop, 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 boop. So I need to get rid of the teeth off of this piece right here, I think is going to be the best bet. And then that's going to give me the ability to move that. So let's see what I can do with that. So this is what I've done here so far. We just simply ground the teeth off of this. So there's a spring inside of this, and what would normally happen is that spring would lock those in, and as you can see there, with that spring out of the picture, it's pretty free now. And that's essentially all I need, is about that much movement out of it. And that's pretty nice. And here it does have a lock to where it won't go any further than that or any further than that. If you look, there's a lock built into it. And what this is this is a, I'm looking for a name here. This is made to go on the end of a painter's pole. You know, on the end of that painter's pole, what it would do is you can put a a paintbrush in it. Tighten this little screw up, and then you can have that paintbrush at the end. Well, obviously on that, they don't want that paintbrush to move, but they want to give you a little bit of adjustability. So they put that together like that. Well, if I put it like I've done there, a little bit of lube, maybe a little too much lube, but you get the idea. So now I'll be able to control that from the ground. Now you say, how are you going to control that from 16, 20 foot away there, old Mongo Man? Let me show you. Hey, what's going on, YouTube? You got the old Mongo Man here, finishing up the night, Sunday evening. I think it's, looks like it's about 9:30. Had to run into town and get some pieces and parts, but we got essentially version 2.0 put together here, laying on the floor. Tested it out a little bit, but really haven't put it to the true test. But I'll show you what we got done here and what we did. I had to bail on the junk bucket and go into town and buy some stuff because I didn't have what I wanted. So I had to get that rod end, or the yoke there, and then the heim joint. And you can see that's all put together. I also had to get a couple connecting nuts. That's those long 7/16 1/4" 20 nuts. This is the joint that I was telling you about, how it's all assembled. And now we have this tie rod that goes the length of this tube. I ended up having to put a sleeve down here because it was too it flexed way too much and it wouldn't work. And then this essentially is the lever that controls it for the elevation and the turn. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Let's see if I can. Whoop. So if I move this lever, there's the elevation at that end. So what I did there is that's a piece of tubing that's been cut with 2 tabs welded to it. That piece of, I believe that's 1-inch aluminum angle iron. Everything's been bolted together. Now to take it apart, what I'll end up doing is taking this bolt out, unscrewing this coupling off of here. That way that can go out the top of that sleeve. I'll also take it apart here and take that off of that. And then that all can be collapsed down and stored away just like it was before. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put you guys on, if it doesn't kill me, that is. I'm going to put you guys onto the mechanism here. Snug you up. Get you square. All right, so right now, the camera is on the end of the stick. And I'm gonna put you guys in the air. Now it is dark out here, so you probably won't be able to see much. Alright, so you're in the stand now, and like I said, I can change the elevation. Let me do a swing 360, if you can even hear me up there. That was probably a bit fast. I don't know how low I can get you. You can see what's happening up there. right, so that was it up on the stand. I did do some things here to the stand. Again, this is nothing more than an old speaker stand. So what I ended up doing was I made a bushing to fit in the top, and there's a bushing about right here as well. So that really tightened that stand up, and it makes it a whole lot less shaky, I guess is the best way to say it. So that's what we did tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing tore back apart. I got some painting to do. I want to paint the metal on that right there. I don't think I'm gonna paint that all thread, but pretty much that's what we got. So a real quick little project there from the old Mongo Mann. I will soon probably get this thing all put together, and I'll show you that entire process as well with the actual camera on it, not an iPhone. I have a miniature HD camera that I go put on there with an HDMI cable down to a screen, and then it feeds into the Hudl interface for the end zone camera, as well as that gives us the LAN antennas. Like I said, it sets up the local area network for the end zone and the sidelines, and then it talks to the camera that is up in the booth, and you can actually link to it with multiple iPhones or iPads, whether it be in the booth or on the sidelines, to where you can actually watch what's going on. So it's a very useful tool when it comes to football. It's a lot of technology, and if you're thinking about doing something like this, I know a lot of you guys really aren't into football, but I am, and this really probably doesn't, feed into my demographic or my normal audience. But I just wanted to show you guys, some of the craziness that I've been into here these last couple of weeks, what we've got going on. But yeah, so what I was saying is, if your team wants to do something like this setup costs about $3,000 to $4,000. So far, I've got 671 bucks in this. I spent another 50 bucks tonight, but some of that stuff is going to go back because I didn't end up using it all. So you're talking about 700 bucks in everything that I've got in addition to it. So, all right, that's all for tonight, guys. The Mongo Mann is out. Thanks for watching. Take care. All right, so I watched what I just said there, and it was a little bit confusing, so I want to clear some stuff up. The system itself from Hudl, I believe, is about $1,600. And what you get from Hudl is essentially these two boxes. This is the press box kit. This is the end zone kit. And inside of these are local area network antennas and a router, a power pack in here, power supply in here, because this, of course, is used on the field, so there is no power, so it needs a battery. And this one here is used in the box, which 9 times out of 10, there is a battery. What I have supplied is the pack out. Oh, you also get, like I said, with that Hudl kit, you'll get this tripod, and that actually is a tripod for the local area network antennas. This is my tripod for the iPad that we use in the booth. This is these are the control cables for the elevation control. This is, of course, the pole that I use is nothing more than an extendable painter's pole. This is the old speaker stand that it's all bungee corded to a pack out dolly. That pack out dolly, like I said earlier, I don't know if I did say it or if you guys heard me, I wasn't ever going to buy one until I made this project, and now you can see that I do have one. So then we have a medium toolbox there. That medium toolbox ends up getting inside of it. It has the display for the end zone camera. It'll end up with the end zone camera. It'll end up with the end zone camera control head, as well as my backpack, which will have in it the iPads, all the power supplies for the iPads, and the cabling for that. Below that is my tools. Essentially, that pack out in the small toolbox there is essentially just to make the stack a little higher, because what I do is whenever this is all set up, this pack is left open so that whoever's running it in the end zone can see what they're doing. So my tools are there just in case you need them. And then, of course, below that is the 3-drawer unit. And in the 3-drawer unit, the first one here, I have some extra batteries. This is the power supply for the display. This is the cable that controls the remote control for the camera. This allows me to turn the camera on and off remotely, as well as control the wide and telephoto function. and the on-off. The end zone operator does not control the on-off. That's controlled by the camera in the booth. There's also an HDMI cable there, a couple extra connectors, the diagonal cutters for because whenever I put that pole up, I actually wire tied the HDMI cable to it. Second drawer down is all the wire ties, and there'll also be wrenches and stuff in here. You can see right now I got my good stuff in here, Cornell and Mac, but I need those 7/16 to tear down. That'll be replaced with something that's more junk. This is the iPad holder for the tripod that I showed you earlier. This HDMI cable is for the camera. This HDMI cable is for the display. So that's the total setup that I have right now. Snap in. We'll come back here and give you guys the full shot of the what I'm calling the end zone stack. So yeah, that's what we've got. So yeah, like I was saying, from Hudl, the system itself, which gets you the hardware and the software to interface with the Hudl Sideline app, that's about a $1,600 bill. What that gives you is the ability to record in two perspectives, the sideline perspective from the booth and the end zone perspective for the tight copy, so that you can see what the line is doing. Then on top of that, I have spent another $730 essentially, somewhere in that range now. And what that got me was the pack out stuff that I have. Some of that's mine, some is you know, what's been trickled in. The pole, the bracket that we use for the essentially what I'm calling the camera control head. Of course, like I was saying, the tripod that I use for the camera is nothing more than a speaker stand that has been, it was thrown away at the school and I picked it up. A lot of the guys were laughing at me because I was dumpster diving, but it's proved pretty useful here so far. The other thing is the, what else have I spent money on? Well, there's my my old tripod that I had to repair. You guys saw me repair that earlier. That actually I bought at Goodwill probably 5 years ago, and have been using it ever since. I think I paid $5 for it. So yeah, that's what we got. I just wanted to make sure that you guys understood that. Now, if I was to purchase this stuff professionally, even a manual pole like what I have created here is still about $3,000. If you were to go high tech and get a pole that has an electronic head on it to control your vertical and your pan, that setup is probably about $5,000. I've seen online where you can actually buy a complete cart that somebody rides and they can move around on the thing. That gets upwards of $11,000 to $12,000. Of course, we're not going to get that carried away. This is single A Southwestern Pennsylvania football, so we're not going to be spending a gang of money. But I'm going to tell you this: the tight copy has literally changed my perspective on being able to use film to diagnose problems that we're having. The sideline copy, I've always had a tough time, you know, negotiating what's going on, who's doing what, and being able to see what's happening. The tight copy, if you've not seen tight copy of the line, I suggest, you know, if you're thinking about it, don't think about it anymore. Do it. But that's all for now. Like I said, it's not cheap. We got even with what I've done here, all the work and labor that I've put into it, $1,600 I think it was for the Hudl setup, another $700. So you know, you're talking $2,300 to get tight copy. But essentially, we got it now, and we're going to use it. I've already been talking to the players, you know, trying to get things squared away on some of the stuff that we're doing. So, all right, guys, that is all I have for tonight. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me here in the garage. Once again, the Mongo Man is out.